Hello, and welcome back to another episode of today's Theses with Callie. You're supposed to turn it off now.
Just keep going.
No, the thesis that we're going to be divulging in today is all through the psychoanalytical lens, which is all about how your thoughts and feelings affect your behaviors. So, the thesis that I've come up with today is, throughout the course of the story, it seems that Victor's life is changed for the worse by the regret that he feels. But his regret is really beneficial because it allows him to ultimately make better choices out of fear of more regret and guilt. So, that's going to be our main thesis today, and yeah, that's what we're going to be looking at a little bit at today. Oh, not second. Oh, God.
Oh my gosh.
This brings us to our first text example from Frankenstein. It is brought to us by chapters 7 and 8 from the book. In these chapters, we learn that Victor learns of his brother William's death, and he is just racked with guilt over it because he knows that it was the creature who did it. And Justine was blamed for it. Victor and Elizabeth know that he's innocent, and they try to help her as much as they can, but she is ultimately blamed and is killed for those charges. Victor is just destroyed with guilt over this and regrets, and he decides that he needs to leave the country for a little bit to get away from this creature and everything that it's bringing in his life. And that's the decision that ultimately leads to him meeting the creature, and the creature telling him about his life and how abandoned he feels from his creator, and it leads to Victor understanding the motives and the decision-making process that this creature has, and it helps him to realize that creating another one or anything else that has to do with this type of thing is just wrong and that it doesn't work. And yeah, text evidence 1. The first... No, I said it wrong. Okay, restart.
That's awesome.
Alright, and the second piece of text evidence from the story that we find comes to us from chapters 18 and 19. And in these chapters, the creature comes to Victor asking for him to make him a companion creature so that he's not so lonely. Victor thinks this over and reluctantly agrees, but as he's working on this project, it's bringing up these feelings and remembrances of the first time he was creating this monster, and he has a moment of clarity of the disturbing nature of what he's doing. This moment of clarity allows him to realize the mistakes that he's made and all of the grief that has come from this creature, and it allows him to realize that making this creature isn't the right decision, and he feels the guilt and regret for the actions that this monster has already brought him. So he realizes that it's not the good thing to do, so he decides to quit making the second creature and move on. Our third piece of text evidence comes to us from chapters 21 and 23, and in these chapters, Henry and Elizabeth are both killed by the creature, and at this point, pretty much everyone in Victor's life has been killed or is gone because of this creature or because of this decision that he made. And at this point, he just vows to devote the rest of his life to finding and destroying this creature that he initially created. Through the guilt and regret that he feels about creating it, he's allowed to come to this conclusion, and yeah, that's pretty much what happens with his life. So, what can we take away from the theme of guilt and regret from the book Frankenstein? We can take away our main theme, which is Victor's frame, which has to do a lot with Victor's frame, and how he deals with the guilt and regret he feels from creating the creature. We can also see from the creature's frame. We see the creature at the end, in the end chapter, we see the creature standing over Victor's body on Walton's ship, and he is crying. This shows through the psychoanalytical lens, hot dog, that is hard to say, that his inward emotions and feelings affect his outward behaviors. Moving on. In conclusion, we see many examples of guilt and regret from Victor's frame. We see examples of guilt and regret from the creature's frame. And from this, we were able to see that Mary Shelley, the author of this novel, wanted us to learn and see themes of regret and guilt and how us as humans deal with that sort of thing. Anyway, thank you for watching this video of me talking about Frankenstein and themes of it. And this has been another episode of Theses with Callie. Tune back next week for more on throw me an idea. Book reads, yeah!
With Sheldon Cooper?
Oh, yes. Anyway, this is Callie Layton music? Signing off. Peace and love.
Christmas music.
Okay. Today, on the docket, is some Frankenstein thesis. Stop it. I can't do it good. Today, we're going to be looking over the thesis for Frankenstein.
Oh, brother.
Mom, I have to do that one again.